The truth is, for most people, everything is not possible. I wanted to be really good at chess, enough to somewhat compete internationally. But the reality was that I was too late. When most people start at the young age of not a day over 7, I started at 14. I could appreciate the game, but never truly make the progress I really wanted. For 2 years, I pretended not to see it, and I kept trying. I made reasonable progress, but my on and offs didn't get me too far. Now, I'm finally accepting the reality that not everything is truly possible. That is, for most people. But saying everything is possible is not for everyone. Everything is possible only for those who are willing to give everything for it. Well, okay, I already somewhat knew that. Well, let me put it into perspective for you. If I told you to drop out right now, end your relationship right now, or quit the job that you know isn't for you, and do the one thing in the back of your mind that you really know you want to do, you wouldn't be able to do it. It's a step too far into the dark. There's always that awkward feeling, that awkward conversation you do not want to have with your parents and friends. When they ask what you've been up to, and where you're studying or working, you want to have the answer. Be honest with yourself. Did you even think any of the ideas that are presented looked possible to you? This exact impossible step was taken by them. Those people who make the impossible things possible. They had a true sense of purpose and willingness to sacrifice anything for it. It's not that their conversation with their parents was any easier for them, or it was any less awkward for them. It was as hard for them as it is for you to sacrifice everything they had. They did not have anything truly figured out from the start. They simply saw a glimpse which they were willing to work really hard for. And they were somehow able to see these extreme sacrifices to us as an actual option for them, out of desperation to reach their goals. But even with convictions unmatched by any, there will always be millions of stories of failures that no one will ever see. The transition of being an insane person to a genius after acquiring success is not a story for everyone. There will always be people with overflowing ambition and goals that remain insane for the normal people. I cannot tell you to drop out and pursue everything you want to right now, since it's a sacrifice that I myself cannot make. I've only truly ever had glimpses of giving my everything to one task. The most I've been able to give my all for something is only about a year, because it's not only the first bold step that you take. It's also about the willingness to sometimes give everything you have to something to get nothing in return. To get out of bed after a surgery to practice and still lose absolutely sucks. Giving everything you have to something is extremely unsustainable. It wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that you would have an existential crisis every other week when you are on the low. Like losing after actually really working hard is the most unpleasant feeling ever. With that being said, the year I gave myself truly to something, I would say was one of the best years of my life. The lows were low, but the highs were also really high. When you're giving that much of yourself to something with the right mindset, you are bound to see growth and development rapidly than any other version of yourself. Though I could barely have one moment where my body wasn't aching, the fulfillment from inside was always there. It's the way I would want to spend as much of my life as humanly possible. I know of no better life purpose than to perish in attempting the great and impossible. The fact that something seems impossible shouldn't be a reason to not pursue it. That's exactly what makes it worth pursuing. Where would the courage and greatness be if success was certain and there was no risk? The only true failure is shrinking away from life's challenges.